RugbyWorks Talks, a podcast that we do to talk to interesting and engaging people about a range of topics. They're either connected with rugby or they're connected with inclusion, but it's our chance to have a conversation. And this week I am absolutely delighted to welcome Reigan Johnson-Hinds to join us here. So without giving away too much about you, why don't you introduce yourself to us, Reigan? Tell us a little bit about your background. Where were you born? What brings Reigan to this podcast?
Okay, my name is Reigan Johnson-Hinds. I'm 19, turned 19 2 weeks ago. I was born in Greenwich, Queen Elizabeth Hospital. And yeah, I've been playing rugby since I was about 6 for Old Colfians. Then I moved to Blackheath at 7 and I've been there the rest of my life. So, yeah.
And where are you currently?
Currently, I'm at my nan's house in Greenwich.
And if you weren't on holiday, what would you be doing if you weren't on a break?
I would be at university. I would be in Manchester because I study sports coaching at Manchester Met.
Fantastic. And just for our listeners, Reigan and I actually met at a do called Sports Podge, where Reigan was doing some casual work waiting and served me wine. And when I learned that he loved rugby and actually didn't just love rugby, played for a national team, I ran over to him and said, we must get to know each other. Come and work for us. Come and work for Dallaglio RugbyWorks, which hopefully over the next coming months is something that you might be engaging with, Reigan. But before we get into that, let's start with a bit about rugby, because you do actually play for a national team, don't you?
Yeah, I play for the Jamaican national team. I've made my kind of full national debut against the England Deaf team not too long ago. It was February. That was an amazing experience. I also play for the under-19s, so that's how I started with Jamaica, the under-19s program, and we went out to Jamaica to play in the RAN 15s tournament, which we came second in, the highest place Jamaica's ever been in that tournament, which was amazing. It was such an experience. The last time I went to Jamaica, I was about 4 months old, so I didn't really remember it. And to go back and meet everyone, and everyone was so excited to see us. They supported us throughout the whole tournament. We stayed in the university, so where the rugby tournament was on the university grounds, and we stayed in the accommodation. It was amazing. Everything was so together. The togetherness was amazing as well. Yeah, it's been quite an experience. So I played for the sevens, the under-19 sevens, the under-19s 15s, and the men's team now. So
that is brilliant. And how? First of all, I'm presuming that you have Jamaican heritage in order to be able to play for the team. So tell me a bit about that, and then we'll go on to how you ever heard about the team and how you got involved.
Okay. So I was born in England, so was my mum. We were both born. My mum was born in Greenwich Hospital, but sadly that got closed down. And I was born in Queen Elizabeth, but my nan was born in Jamaica and moved over to England, I think in her teenage years. I can't remember off the top of my head. Also, my granddad has Caribbean heritage as well. My dad's side, both my dad's parents were born in Jamaica, and my dad was born in Willesden. So yeah, that's my Jamaican heritage. And the majority of my family live in Jamaica. Like, I have loads of cousins, loads of aunties and uncles who all live in Jamaica. There's quite a lot of us that live in England, but quite a few that live in Jamaica as well.
Fantastic. So just before we move on to how you got involved in the Jamaican rugby team, how good are you at cooking Jamaican food? Best dish that you cook?
I mean, recently, because being at uni, I've learned how to cook jerk chicken, which I've never done. It was always my nan, always my mum. I think I'm pretty good at jerk chicken. I'm not really a big rice and peas fan, but I love rice anyway. So jerk chicken, white rice, and I'm learning how to make dumplings. I really want to learn how to make fried dumplings. But I don't think I can make them any better than any of my family members, because they're all the best cooks.
But it's still a good thing to learn. And one day, if you keep practicing, somebody will be saying that about you. I don't make them as well as my granddad, but I want to learn. Yeah, as soon as you perfected those dumplings, give us a shout. I will fly up to Manchester or down to London to try them. So how on earth did you hear about the Jamaican rugby team?
Oh, it's quite a long story, to be honest. There's quite a few moving parts. So I was playing for RugbyWorks Academy. It's an all-inclusive schools team. So all the schools in South East London that don't play rugby, players who want to play rugby will come to the RugbyWorks Academy, and we'll do training twice a week and have a game on a Wednesday. And the coach was Thomas Chapman, we'll say it like that, Thomas Chapman, and Vicky Fleetwood as well. Yeah, so those two were coaching me from July in 2021 and all the way through to my whole year 13 journey. And we were the first year to do the RugbyWorks Academy, which was amazing. It was such an amazing scheme, such an amazing team as well, which I was co-captain of the team as well, which was amazing. But Tom was coaching with Jamaica. He had some coaching to Jamaica, and he asked me if I wanted to do one of the trials. And obviously I said yes, because I wish I could find the photo. I wish I had the photo to hand, but my mom got me a Jamaica shirt in 2017. And she said, if I get you this shirt, that means you have to play for Jamaica. So hearing about these trials was amazing. It was like a dream come true, to be honest. And I knew I had to go for them. And Tom said he wants me to go for them. So he put me forward to the trials, got to the first trials. These were I think they were the first UK trials that they've ever done. And there were 7 people there, which, made sense. Not many people know that Jamaica play rugby.
I must admit, it was a first to me.
Yeah, it's first to many people. I mean, to this day, we still get, funny enough, we had a camp on the weekend, a little under-19s camp in Bournemouth. On the way home, we stopped off in Winchester, and we just had a flood of people asking me, "Oh, does Jamaica actually play?" Because I was wearing this. They're like, "Oh, does Jamaica really play rugby?" I didn't know that. I didn't know Jamaica play rugby. Is it true? Is it fake? What's going on? No. We do play rugby. Went to the first trials, and I say that was pretty good. We were with our strength and conditioning coach for the men's sevens, who's currently in South Africa, I'm pretty sure, for the Challenger Series. Yeah. He was coaching us in the first trials, just little strength and conditioning work, just running up and down and weightlifting and that sort of thing. Then we had another trial which Tom was coaching at, which put me at ease. The trial was so good, that trial. We ended up playing. We played a little sevens game against Racing. I can't remember what the last bit is, but it's Racing something. They're a sevens team who look for people with Caribbean heritage to play sevens. And we wanted to give them a game, just if they want to pluck out any sevens players, they can look at us as well. We did get beaten by them pretty heavily, but we are a 15s team. But yeah, it was amazing. That's really how I heard about it. I'd say from RugbyWorks. So from Tom and Vicky, they both told me that I should go for these trials.
And look at the opportunities you've had since then. So what position do you play?
It's quite funny, to be honest. I play on the wing. So my best position I would probably say is on the wing. But I have been playing centre recently and fullback.
Oh, so you're moving. I mean, that does happen. It also happens as you change body shape as well, doesn't it? You move around because you suddenly realise you're not quite what you thought you were.
Yeah.
As you grow up and you get bigger or smaller or leaner or whatever changes happen, you do move positions. Yeah. So you are going to stay playing rugby. It's your dream. It's your passion. Have you taken up with the Manchester team at Manchester when you're at uni?
Yeah, I play for the Manchester twos. I really enjoy it there. It's amazing. It's really, there's a big togetherness there at the uni, and it's my first year playing uni rugby, and it's completely different to anything that I expected or have played in before. It's quite tough.
What made it different?
Well, the fans, I think, having fans at the game, you know, it's like you have pressure, but you don't have pressure at the same time. You have the away, when especially playing on the wing, when you're playing in front of the away crowd, and they're all like trying to shout at you and tell you what is this and that, of number 14, your laces are undone. And then you look, and then everyone starts laughing. Yeah. That's it, and it's distracting, but I think it's needed. I think personally it's needed, and that's why I like to play for Manchester Met, because I will get that in every single level, club and international. And I think if I learn using uni rugby how to kind of block that noise out and continue playing the way I play, that would be a big help, especially with my career. Big help.
Absolutely. And it sounds like, I mean, if you're doing sports coaching, no matter what, some way rugby is going to feature in your life for many years to come.
Yeah.
So you need to get used to all aspects of it. But just going back to your childhood, we hear a lot about black boys growing up in London. What was it like for you as a black boy growing up in London?
So where I grew up, in Greenwich, there's not a massive black community, especially when I was younger. And I went to Houser Primary School, amazing school, but there wasn't a lot of black people there. When my little brother came into the school, it really felt like we were the only like black kids there. There was a few, but it was a predominantly white school, which is fair enough. Greenwich, obviously, as I said, Greenwich doesn't have a massive black community, but obviously you face all sorts of adversities growing up as a young black man. I've been through all sorts, from name calling, racial slurs, to, you know, just being abused on the bus, to be honest. House was only a walk away, but still you still find yourself in some sort of trouble walking down the road. It's got a lot better. We've got quite a big black community now, especially where I live in the estates. Massive black community now, and it's really heartwarming. My mum runs a what does she call it? Like an estate sort of not charity, an estate sort of society. That's it, society. Yes. And it's called Carer, and she's done an amazing job with that. Literally everybody from the Caltock estate and the Flamsteed estate, we're all completely together. Everyone knows each other. Everyone says good morning. Everyone says good night. There's no sort of breakup like when we were younger. There was quite a lot of new people moving in. They don't know the neighbors, so it's just like really awkward and quiet. But what Mum's done with the carer is she's made the new people feel welcome, and those who've lived on the estate for a long time all mixed together. And she runs little events and that sort of thing, and I think that's a massive help. I think if every single estate had that sort of society, we wouldn't really have that sort of problem.
Which certainly sounds like I ought to have your mum on this podcast. So we're going to make a note of that, and I'm going to get your mum on to talk about what she's done in your two estates, because that sounds amazing. So what you then go to secondary school? What was that like for you?
So I went to Forest Hill Boys for year 7, which is so far from Greenwich. It's so far. It was an hour and a half journey to school. Instead of going across the road to, for example, John Rome, which is only up the road from me, I'd had to travel through Lewisham and Catford and Ladywell all the way to Forest Hill, which I've never really done before. I never really got the bus by myself, never really got the train by myself. And I was in year 7. I left Forest Hill in February, but to go Greenwich Free School. But I'll say that about. I'll say something about that later. But yeah, Forest Hill, going to a predominantly black school now, that was quite a change for me. Quite a change for me because
why did you pick a school, or your parents pick a school so far away for you?
It's quite funny, to be honest. Apparently my mum said that some of the schools didn't take me, so the council gave me a school, and the council gave me the furthest school possible, which didn't really help. But the way I spoke, because of how I grew up in primary school, the way I spoke was kind of, "Hello there, how are you doing? Are you okay today? Oh yes, hi." Yeah, quite like that. Quite posh. Hounslow is quite a posh state school. Yeah. Anyway, Forest Hill Boys was like, when you, I don't have to say it, but it's there's quite a lot of like gang members that go to that school, and that was that I just didn't fit in there. I really didn't fit in there. Because when everyone said yo, I said hi. And everyone said, like, that's mad deep, I would say, oh, that's not nice, or something like that. But yeah, but the school was amazing. The school was amazing. The facilities there are amazing as well. And I played a lot of rugby there, which is great. And I think if Greenwich Free School had the sort of rugby sort of feel that Forest Hill had, I think I would be a better rugby player than I am today. Greenwich Free School didn't really have a lot of rugby. We didn't really do a lot of rugby. We had 3 tournaments over 3 years. And after that, we didn't really do anything. But yeah, then I moved to Greenwich Free School around February. So halfway through year 7, moved to Greenwich Free School. And I've only got positive things to say about Greenwich Free School. They really, really helped me behavior-wise. They really helped me grow as a person. Every single teacher there has helped me in some sort of way to grow as a person. And I'd also say that there wasn't really a dominant race in that school. It was really diverse. From South Asians to East Africans to West Africans to South Americans, North Americans, Caribbeans, everywhere. We had near enough everybody was from a different part of the world, which I found amazing. I found that amazing. The teachers, they weren't very diverse, but it got better over the years. And we had our head of year for year 10 and year 11, so upper school. He was a black male, grew up in Southeast London, grew up around our area. So he already knew how to deal with everything. And from there, we got loads more teachers, loads more black teachers, loads more South Asian teachers. We had Chinese teachers as well, Vietnamese teachers. I think my whole secondary school experience was quite positive, I'd say.
It sounds really diverse and inclusive.
Yeah.
And that people felt valued in that environment.
100%.
Which maybe you would have got better rugby, and you might be a better rugby player had you not gone there, but maybe not a better person.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
So as you're growing up, who are your role models in rugby and outside of rugby? Who did you look to and think, you're the one?
So role models in rugby, I didn't really have much because I was more of my whole family's into football.
Yeah.
Whole family's into football, so I was more into watching football. But rugby, I went to watch Blackheath. Once we got free tickets to go watch Blackheath, and watching that, I was like, I want to play for this team. I want to stay at this team and I want to play for this team. I want to rise up every single rank and play for the men's team, which I have done, by the way, which is great. I say role models, definitely my cousins, 100% my cousins, yeah. Because I mean, the age gap is quite big, and just watching them like grow up from everyone not really, we were quite annoying. Me and my little brother, we were quite annoying kids. We were very annoying, but you know, all of my cousins had something that we all wanted. Me and my little brother both wanted something that my cousins had. And one of my cousins, his name's Connor. Connor's got the perfect mentality for sports, especially the perfect mentality. And I always look up to him because he's a boxer. And I've been on a run with him once and it was horrible. I'm never doing it again. I'm never doing it again. And that's when I thought I was really fit. He just blew me out of the water. Even all my cousins played some sort of sport either when they were younger or if they're doing it now. Like for example, my cousin Chana, she plays for Dulwich Hamlets women's team. Amazing. I've watched her play about 4 times now, and she's so good. She's so good. I've watched all of my cousins play their sport. They are definitely my role models. I would say my mum is one of my main role models, obviously, because I've lived with her. Everything she teaches me to be a better human, the way she raised me to know how to move around the areas and how to move around different situations as a Black male. Same with my aunts, same with my nan. My nan's a massive part of my life, a massive part of my life. I would say she is the pinnacle of the family. Whenever anyone's upset, they go to her. She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. And I'd say outside of the family, a role model. I've got so many. I've actually got a lot. I support Luton Town. So when I started supporting them, we signed a player named Pelly Roddick Mapanzu. This is around 2012, 2013. And I managed to go and meet him. And we went into the changing rooms after one of the games, and I managed to meet him. Best experience of my life. I've loved him ever since. Every single Luton game that I go to watch, he is the person that I go to watch. And from kind of being rejected at West Ham, to then rising from the Conference League to where we are now, which is the Championship. We're third in the Championship. We could push for second, but we're third in the Championship. And he's been loyal to Luton ever since we were in the conference. He is probably my biggest role model, sporting wise.
Fantastic.
Probably my biggest role model.
Well, as a Portsmouth FC fan, we're sort of still one below you. I have seen us. I was there when we were in the Premiership as well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I know that the loyalty of players is fabulous, isn't it? And their ability to keep growing with the club as well. So, are you going up?
Hopefully, I think we will. We've changed. Well, Nathan Jones left, and I think he wasn't the problem, but he could only take us so far. And I think one of the ways that we need to go up is automatic. I think if we get automatic, we will go up. Well, obviously we will, but if if we get to automatic, Sheffield United, if they drop any sort of points, we're just gonna clear them out. Rob Edwards is such an amazing manager, and he's done so well with the team. We've gone 10 games unbeaten now, which, I mean, it's not unheard of, but it's like we haven't done that in so long. It's been it's going on, and we win every game that we on paper we shouldn't have won, Also, we've beaten all the bogey teams. Birmingham, we've beaten. Last season, I think we were 7 games unbeaten, and we played Birmingham. Birmingham were near enough bottom of the league. They hadn't scored a goal in ages. They didn't score a goal. They scored 5 against us. They beat us 5-0. And then we played them in the reverse fixture thinking it was going to be any better, and we lost 3-0. But we beat them this year. We beat them, I think we beat them at home. I can't remember. We did beat them away though. We beat Sheffield United, which we haven't done in about 60 years. We beat...
So you are feeling confident.
I'm feeling very confident. Very, very, very confident.
Well, to drag us back to rugby, away from the golden game with the round ball, dragging us back to rugby. You know, rugby is sort of traditionally known as a sort of white middle class sport. And certainly that's not our experience in RugbyWorks. So I mean, we do work with young people who've been excluded from school, and deeply disappointingly, you are 5 times more likely to be excluded from school if you're Black than if you're not. So obviously a lot of our young people in the cities are from Black and minority ethnic backgrounds, but our team is very diverse. We are a diverse organisation, but still this reputation persists. What's it like for you as a young Black player? Do you see that, you know, does it still feel like a white sport?
Not really anymore, to be honest. I mean, I can take the example of Saracens. In the younger age, when I was younger, Saracens was definitely a dominantly white academy. I want to say the academy was definitely dominantly white. But as you see through the years, there's loads more Black players that are getting into the team. Loads more, especially the first team. If you look at the first team now, there's so many young Black players, older Black players. They've signed Black players. It's actually gone through the roofs, and it happened at a random time, to be honest, because you don't see it until you notice on the team.
Yeah.
You're like, there is more Black players in the team. But playing the sport, yeah, when I was younger, it was definitely predominantly white, definitely. I think.
And what about Manchester Met 2?
Trying to think about this. We have 5 or 6 Black players. So out of 15, we've got 6 Black players. That's better than some of the teams I've been. And we are all together. The Black players, kind of, we all know each other's struggle. We're all near enough. No, we're all from London. Funny enough, we're all from London. All from different parts of London, but it's like we all can share the same experiences. And it's not like the Black players are all together and the white players are all together and the Asian players are all together. No, it's nothing like that. We're all together, we're all one family. Even the 2s and the 3s are coached by the same person. His name's Kit. Lovely guy. One of the best coaches that I've worked under, definitely. He keeps us all together. So the 2s and the 3s are always together. So the Black players from the 3s, the Black players from the 2s, the white players from the 3s, the white players from the 2s, we're all together. It doesn't matter. Really, truly, the way he goes about it, doesn't matter what race you are, doesn't matter where you come from. You can come from, I don't know, you can come all the way from France and you will still feel welcome in the team. We've got an Irish player. He feels welcome in the team. We all go to socials together after the game, after any game, and that really helps. So at Manchester Met, it's very diverse there, very diverse, very diverse.
So if you hadn't been a sportsman, what would your life be like? You wouldn't be clearly doing sports coaching, you wouldn't be playing rugby. What would your life be like if you hadn't been a sportsman?
That's quite tough, to be honest, because I mean, sport has saved me in so many different situations, so many different aspects of my life. So
what's it saved you from? What sport saved you from?
Sport saved me from depression. Well, it took me out of depression. It's saved me with my behavior. If I didn't play sport, I would be a very bad child. I was a bad child when I couldn't play. When I got injured in year 9, I was racking detention after detention after detention. This is because I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't play sport, and that was what I loved to do. Even at home, I was having trouble at home because I didn't have a way to take my anger out on something. Like, go and play rugby, I can go and smash someone or something, for example, or I can go and score and get all the praise that I need, and I get all the and get attention as well. That's also one of the things, attention. I loved having attention in sport. I think, well, it's just saved me so many mental problems, physical problems, household problems from the outside. I think if I wasn't playing sport, I would be outside a lot more with people who I probably shouldn't be with. Sport taught me to go to school, come home, go to training, come home, school, home, training, home. It's a routine. It's a routine. And if I didn't have that routine, it would be come home, get really bored, don't know what to do, get a message from someone, hey, let's go down here, go down there, and I get caught in trouble. But career-wise, I think if I wasn't a sports man, I would be looking to work in the NCA, definitely. I think I might still look to work for them.
NCA, for people who don't know?
The National Crime Agency. So I would be either a detective, I could be a chief, DCI, detective chief. But I love watching crime shows. Like, it's one of the things that if you look at me, you probably won't like see that I love watching crime documentaries. I love watching crime shows. I mean, I'm on BBC iPlayer more than I am on any other thing. I love watching it, and especially when it's from England, because I can feel where they're coming from. Because especially when I can notice little places, like especially when it's in London, and I'm like, oh, I've been there before. Oh, I don't live too far from there, actually. Yeah. There was one Line of Duty episode where they done it in Greenwich. They done it just like near the O2, and I walk past there near enough every day to get the train. And I was like, I never noticed that they done this. Even when I watched Thor and they done it at the university. Yeah, I love crime. But anyway, yeah, I would love to work for the NCA. Love to work for them, and I probably will apply.
Well, God, it would be a real gain for them if you do. But it sounds like right now it might be rugby's loss. So let's see if we can run the rugby a little more.
I will carry on with rugby no matter what. Even if I let's say, touch wood, this never happens, I get dropped by Jamaica, I would still be playing rugby. I've had the experience, and I've had it at such a young age. My debut with Jamaica was at 18, and from 18 through to 19, I've come so far. If it stops now, I can say that I'm happy. I would love to do more. I want to do more. I really want to do more. I want to end my career coaching in Jamaica, have a little setup in Jamaica, have more players coming to play rugby in Jamaica. I think every time we speak about Jamaica, we always get the rugby is the fastest growing sport in Jamaica. We always get that every time. And I want to make it one of the main sports in Jamaica. So instead of being known, so we always get this, instead of being known for cool run-ins, being known for bobsled.
Yeah, I love cool running.
I love cool runnings as well, but it's quite annoying when you say something about like, oh, we play for Jamaica runners. Oh, so you guys are going to be like the next cool runnings? No. I want Jamaica to be in the same sort of conversation as not as dominant as sprinting, but like kind of the next sort of thing. I want Jamaica in the World Cup. That's what I want. Whether I'm there or whether I'm not, that's what I would like to see. And every year we seem to get better. Every year we climbing up the ranks. You know, we played against Gibraltar not too long ago. That was the 26th of March or the 27th. I played in that game. I scored in that game as well, which I was proud about. But playing against them and seeing how far they've come as well, it's like we keep battling with Gibraltar to see how far we've come. We also played them in November, which we lost, I think it was about 35-12. When we lost to them on the 26th, it was 20-15. The standard we've gone to is higher, and it's just going to keep going. Beating England Def team was amazing as well. That was incredible. I don't think many people didn't expect us to beat them, but you know, after our third try, and they started to come back into the game, and we started to lose, and then we went and scored a last minute try. I want more Jamaicans involved in rugby, especially Jamaicans from England, because I mean, even speaking to people and telling people that I play for Jamaica, and they just laugh. Like they don't say like, oh, that's incredible. Like, oh, you play for Jamaica. Like they'll just accept anyone, which we don't. And we are very ruthless with our players. We want the best players, but usually the best players will look to be playing for England, which is fair enough. But if we had players who had we need realistic views. It could have been realistic for me to go and try and play for England, but I saw an opportunity to play for the country that my nan was born in, play for the country that my mum absolutely adores, and the country that is part of my heritage and part of me. That is all about the Jamaican heritage, all to do with me. I would love to play for England, but I would love to play for England for publicity, not for the growth of rugby. Because
and clearly being part of something that's emerging and growing, which Jamaican rugby is really, really inspiring. And so are you, Reigan. It's been fantastic to talk to you. Thank you for your time. I will come and eat those fried dumplings and watch crime with you, because I love British crime too. I look forward to that date. But in the meantime, it's been a real pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for having a chat. And hopefully we'll be able to put some clips of you playing alongside this podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
They're still going, and it's going to be Johnson-Hinds that scores. A great finish. Came in on the angle at pace. Just what defences hate. And Jamaica with their second try of the game.